Welcome to Home of Politics, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jemima. Today we are tuning in to discuss or to analyze how the exchange of words is keeping on to be very serious between the President William Samoei Ruto and opposition leader Rigathi Gachagua with their brigades. And so of late we have witnessed if the president speaks a word or his government officials releases a word to the opposition, on the other side, Rigathi Gachagua and his people are very ready to respond. And this is becoming serious. And we see it is bringing issues to do with the early campaigns. Though it is not officially time for campaign, but every politician right now is talking about future politics of 2027. What should we do? Yet themselves have started the game. And so we had the president mocking the opposition, telling us that Rigathi Gachagua has no agenda, has no plan, has no policy, has no framework. He has no good intentions with these Kenyans. Yet, on the other side, Rigathi Gachagua is responding, just trying to confirm what the president said, that they lack agenda. You know, that thing made us wonder. I thought even Rigathi Gachagua could defend his people or his camp to tell us that it is very early for us to release our manifesto. It's very early for us to release the highlights of what we are going to prepare. For now, we are concentrating on this. But instead of saying like that, Rigathi Gachagua just told us, yes, it is true. We have no any other agenda apart from removing you from the office. You know that had broke so many supporters of Rigathi Gachagua on the ground because they thought he will provide an alternative comeback that will pin down the president or government officials from speaking mockery against the opposition. Here is the tip.
So, what are your reasons for this Ruto must go? I'm sure it's not because of the spelling of his name. Maybe because you don't agree with the ideas, the policies, and the plan he has for our nation, which is okay. But please, would you kindly favor us with your counter plan, with your alternative plan? Because the more I listen, the more it is sloganeering. It's not about a plan, not about an alternative plan. And, hey, we cannot replace a plan you don't like with nothing. And I hear my brothers and sisters say, let Ruto go, then we will figure out. And we will tell you what is the alternative plan later. We cannot tell you now. To me, that sounds like the wash Conmanship. Because if you seriously have a plan that does better on the economy than I have, that does better on health than I have, that does better on creating jobs than I have, that does better on education than I have, you should be bold enough to tell us. One term, Kasongo, Ruto must go, is not enough.
I've heard William Ruto saying that we have no plan. Our plan is only one term and Ruto must go. It is true, that is our plan for now. Because it is not possible to do anything else unless he's out of office. So in business, you must have priorities. There are certain things you must do for you to go to the next stage. For us to end corruption, for us to improve our healthcare, for us to rectify our education system, for us to create the right business environment, we must exit William Ruto. So that is why we have that one-term movement. Once we are sure that he is out, then we have other programs.
My good people, we had both speeches. The president is attacking the opposition day and night, bringing them to an extent that they are just people who are haters, they lack agenda, they don't have a clear roadmap to where they are going, and it means they don't have clear intentions with this nation in the future. But on the other side, Rigathi Gachagua is telling us that they are making sure that they remove President William Samoei Ruto and his people from the office. After there, they will now arrange, they will see how policies and reforms will be brought so that they know how to run the new government, that they are the leaders. And so this statement is very contradicting, because to the sitting president or the government itself right now, they have no issues. Their work is to make sure that they attack the opposition, they mock them, they make sure that they are weak. That is their work. To make sure they are confused. That's the work of the government right now. To make sure that the opposition has no peace. At the same time, the opposition is there to oversight the government and to remind them of what to do. But it seems like some games have become serious right now, to an extent that it's just exchange of words. Even if it's not the president who will respond, someone somewhere in the government will shoot at Rigathi Gachagua. And so it's very difficult. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a clear time, or it's not the right time for these people who want to run for 2027 to release out their manifesto, or the party to release the manifesto. But it is very important and essential for these candidates, for the party to come out with a highlight that will be giving their supporters and those who feel like they really belong to opposition or the government a clear direction on what to understand, what to do, or where to base their support on. This is because even if the manifesto is not yet out, but you can convince someone telling them, under this sector we have this program, under this sector we will do this and this. But without clear highlight, then we can see that our friends on the other side, then they have a long way to go. And so we have been hearing a narrative of one term must go, one term must go, but they don't have a clear direction. Maybe we are very early right now, they will give us. But what are the risks of operating in politics with clear mobilization of the ground, gathering followers, doing members registration, launching party offices everywhere, yet you don't have a roadmap to where you are taking this government in future, since you expect that the opposition is the government in waiting. Number one, my good people, the lack of transparency on the highlights of the direction or the roadmap to what the incoming government will do, it brings in issues to do with it interferes with public trust. This is because the government is finding a way of everyday mocking the opposition, because they ask them, how can we believe that you are taking us, you will take the nation to the right direction, yet you don't have strategies, you don't have plan, you don't have any of the alternative reforms that will bring the betterment of the nation, rather than our plan that we are having right now. And so that one may interfere with the public trust, making some of the people who believe in the leadership of the opposition to change mind and follow other candidates. Another thing, lack of this roadmap to development and other things that will be done in the government that is awaiting, it is a clear indication of weakness and lack of readiness in this politics. This is because we saw the launching of parties, registration of members, we saw everything, And even right now, the opposition has declared, more especially that party of Rigathi Gachagua'S, has declared that they will participate in the coming by-elections. We saw some sort of seriousness, but lack of clear roadmap tells the supporters that where we are going, it seems we don't have a clear direction, and so it brings in issues of not being ready to lead, not being ready to take power, and it shows some signs of weakness because a strong leader like Rigiji cannot just wake up and tell us, yes, I don't have any other agenda but to send Ruto home. What about the projects? What about what reforms you will bring on the leadership? And so let him not succumb to this issue of mockery that the government is bringing in to be seen as a weak leader or unprepared leader. Let him stand up and show that he is ready to take power from the government. Finally, but not least, my good people, let release of the clear roadmap to the policies that the incoming government will implement. It is risking to backfire. How? This is because if they can keep on postponing on how they will give us the agendas and policies that they will bring in future, then it means that there is a high possibility of the government winning more supporters on the ground because their agenda is well known. If they have done something up to 30%, they will come and convince the voters that give us another chance so that we can do the remaining because you know what we are doing and where we have reached in this progress. And so if it backfires, it means that the opposition, the DCP party with the other parties that are in opposition will lose a lot of supporters in the ground. This means that the supporters of the opposition will not understand fully what their manifesto is, what their agenda is. Rather, they will decide to cling to that one of the government because they understand it, they have seen it for many days. They are used to it and they are now aware of what they want to choose and what they don't want to choose. Finally, my good people, it is good for the opposition to provide alternative for the reforms, for the policies that will lead their leadership. This is because you had the president telling them, you don't have agenda, you don't have any plan, you don't have any seriousness in this leadership. This is because they have not given out or they have not highlighted any of the roadmap or direction where they are going to replace this leadership. And so that makes it very different and difficult to understand the politics of opposition. And so, my good people, they should tell us what they are going to do with the education reforms. For example, they can tell us high school fees for day schools. It will be free. There's no payment. That one is a clear reform that will outdo that one of the government. They should tell us maybe they will employ more nurses under health sectors. That one is a clear policy that have will have interfered with that one of the government. They should tell us what they will do apart from what they have seen the government doing. How will they empower youth and women? Something of the sort. And so Rigathi Gachagua and his team, though they are very strong, they have mobilized a lot of people, they are sure of big support in the ground. They are risking a lot of these supporters shifting their loyalty from them to another group. And so for this not to happen, to prevent this from not happening, at least this coalition should come up with at least a highlight of maybe 3-4 policies that they are going to do to counter the fame of the government. Otherwise, that one is my clear analysis. If you are here with a different opinion, just send me in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good day.